give us a little bit of background first? Have you always had a passion for fashion?
Yes, my retail fashion career started at Neiman Marcus as an intern in the gift gallery department. And then from there, I went into manager. I've worked for, so Neiman's was my first. I've worked for other retailers, both corporate and on the nonprofit sector. And so I have probably about over 20 plus years of retail as a personal shopper, manager, and in sales.
What was that like overall? Like, what would you say you gained, from your experience doing that?
Oh wow. You know what? I want to say, I think because my starting point was Neiman Marcus, that really instilled in me what customer service looks like and how you cater to and provide excellent customer service. And so from then on, I feel like the standard was already high based on where I started. And that was just something that I was just able to carry over into the other retailers that I've worked for over the years. So I think I had a great starting point.
As far as getting to this point, how long did it take you? What was that moment where you said, okay, I'm going to start my own thing?
Whew. It's something that's kind of in the back of your mind anyhow as you work, for other retailers, and you learn about operations, you learn about merchandising, you learn about managing, you kind of learn all the aspects. And so it's been in the back of my mind for years. And then finally, I would say probably, I think it was like a couple of years ago, I had a situation where my son was out sick, and I was like, before I go back to work, I need to start taking some steps toward my dream. And so what I did, that was probably like in November, I want to say November, December. So before that New Year started, I went and got me a EIN number, and I got a name secured of what I wanted to do, not knowing where I was going to go, what I was going to do, set up. And I had already started buying, stocking inventory, not knowing. So I feel like, let me at least just take some steps. Yeah.
Get to that point. Would you say you've had any challenges or just any kind of ups and downs as you've been learning as an entrepreneur, or anything you kind of learned along the way?
I would say my greatest, well, yes, first of all, you do have ups and downs, but I would say my greatest challenge is during those slow and down times, learning how to just keep steady, continue to work, continue to be consistent, what have you. And so that has been my thing, is to not get so, let emotions take over during a slow period, because at the end of the day, at the end of the week, at the end of the month, I'm like, oh wow, I did great. So it's really just learning how to maintain just a steady and consistent in the business. And then always, thinking about what can I do different, to drive the business, yeah.
And when did you move here?
Actually, you know what? This coming May 1st will be my 1 year. So May 1st of last year, I did a soft opening, and I did my grand opening with just a big gathering, party, celebration. I did that on the June the 6th. So yeah, I'm coming up on a year anniversary now.
What's the response been like for you here, just interacting with the customers since you've come? What's been like the energy and just the experience you've had being here at DeSoto?
As far as the customers are concerned, my repeat customers, starting off as initial customers, they were very surprised at the value, the affordability of what I have to offer. I didn't mention in the beginning, so I have a combination of retail as well as resale. So I think when people see the outside, they're just not quite sure, because my thing is presentation is everything. So that's what I hear from a lot of customers is that just the affordability of the things that I have here in the boutique and the marketplace and my location. I mean, this is like the best location. I'm right at the front door. So people come in, this is the initial thing that they see is my boutique. And so people ask, how did you get there? I was like, well, I mean, when you strategize in your location, you want prime location. So that's how I ended up here. And so, yeah, I'm enjoying it, definitely.
Oh, and you had answered my next question, which was, what kind of setup do you provide? What makes you stand out? You said the retail and resale. Can you talk more about that?
So, as I mentioned in the beginning, I have a background in corporate retail, like for dealers, Neiman's, Express, all of those. But I've also managed on the resale side. I've been the store manager of what you would call resale stores. And so my thing is, okay, so I decided when I started, I want to be the one to do the shopping. I did not want to go out and solicit for donations because my background experience is people just tend to donate any and everything. And I wanted to make sure that it had like a boutique feel. I wanted to be organized. I wanted to have, strong merchandising. I wanted, the presentation is everything. And so that's one of the things is that I wanted to be the one to do the shopping. I didn't want, and I try to pick out things that are unique and different. When people who shop boutiques, they know for the most part they can go there and find something unique, and when they wear it out, wherever they're going, they're not going to see 10 or 15 other people wearing the same outfit.
Yeah, and I've noticed that too. You have a variety of items. What would you say currently you're providing? I see, you are in your cowgirl era, which I am loving. I love the hats. Can you talk about what you have right now?
Okay, so one of the things in retail, you gotta know what's going on. You gotta know what the trends are, and the trends are, they may not necessarily always be your client, but like for example, so right now, Western, boots on the ground, Beyonce, all of that is a major trend. Trail rides, and so I knew probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, I was like, I need to start having a little bit of Western attire and cowboy hats, and so people love that. They coming in getting their hats, trying on hats, denim. I realized that denim is big too, especially since the flare denim, shall I say, especially since the Super Bowl thing with just Kendrick Lamar had on flare jeans. So you gotta know the trends. That's just like yesterday. I'm sitting at home like, oh, Mother's Day. So as you see, let me go ahead and put my Mother's Day. So I'm looking at the calendar ahead, trying to see what I need to buy and what my merchandising needs to look like.
Staying on point. Oh, I know. So when we first met and caught up, I know you had your fundraiser for March Madness. Can I get a follow-up on what that was and how it turned out? And are you doing anything in the future similar to that?
So I've done a couple of things with nonprofits. The one that when I met you was, I called it March Madness because it was March. And I sit on the board of directors for Bridges Safe House, which is it's a nonprofit that helps women and children and families who are just transitioning. And so one of their greatest needs that they always do is collect diapers and baby wipes. And so people could actually go there. They're on the other end of Beltline. People can go there and get free diapers. Well, diapers are expensive, so they can go and get free diapers and wipes, for their children. And so I did that for the whole month of March, and I had a lot of great support from the community, from customers when they were coming in. I would just kind of remind them. Did a couple of social media videos, and so that was really fun doing that. And so right now, that was what I did for March. I'm probably going to pick something up again. April's kind of like been a break, but I'm looking to trying to do something for either May or June. Right now, I'm planning for my my 1-year anniversary celebration in June. So yeah, okay. It's just a way to give back.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna have to follow up on that so I can get involved too. Is there anything you would like to say just in general to people, the state of fashion and retail, you're seeing some of these businesses going bankrupt and closing. However, people are still shopping. They're going to shop any way that they can. Can you provide any insight or advice to just people watching in terms of coming in and supporting local and just shopping in general?
Well, one of the things, obviously we are, and I say we, those of us within this complex here, we are small business owners. I used to work at the mall. I worked at the Galleria Mall. I've worked at numerous malls before, whatever. And so I know the price points that they offer. And so one of the things that I would encourage people is to support those small businesses that are offering customer service and offering also merchandise that kind of goes with the trend. My thing is now, anything pretty, if I have to buy a gift or if I need something for myself, it's within this entire complex. Whether I get it from my own boutique or whether I go and support, one of the other small business owners or whatever. And that's one thing that I've become a little bit more aware of is how can I support my other small business owners in their businesses and just continue to grow that. Whereas, instead of like going to the mall or instead of going to, some of the other big box stores, come and check out the small business owners and see what we have to offer. And I didn't mention either also that when I opened the boutique, I wanted to make sure that I had a size range up to for the plus size woman also, because I used to hear that a lot, and some of the even in some of the department stores, they want trends also. They want to look extra cute, and so I tried to make sure that I have sizes ranging up to at least a 3X and sometimes a 4X in what I have here in the boutique. And every week it can be something different.
Very inclusive.
Oh, definitely. Because there's a market for that. There is a market for it.
I know you're like the next Rihanna. That was her thing. Being inclusive, having sizes for everyone when she had launched Savage X. I love all the clothes you have, all the funky shoes and the heels. Like I'm living for all of those. They're very trendy.
Thank you.
Do you have any last bit of advice for anybody in general that wants to start their own business or just needs that push to be an entrepreneur? Any advice?
I would say definitely, do your research. Do your research on whatever it is that you are planning to do to open. Do your research. And there are so many, I tell people, so many resources out there in the community that you can take advantage of. So my thing is, do not let finances be a hindrance to you taking steps. You don't have to take big steps. Take a step, even if it's one step a week towards your business and what have you. And like I say, and you can always partner. I did a lot of, I did my research, and I also connected with other boutique owners and asked them a lot of questions. One who's on the other end of Beltline, another young lady who has her own store off of Keys. And so I did a lot of picking other people's brains before I actually opened the boutique and made sure this is something that's going to work. And it has, because I've already renewed my lease. And so I'm excited about that. Yes.
That's so exciting. Is there anything I may have left out or anything else you want to say?
My location in the heart of DeSoto. I am from the DFW area, but when I was looking at where to locate this location, especially for a starter business, you got to think about it. You don't have to worry about internet. You don't have to pay electricity. You don't have to pay water. When you get into the brick and mortar, then you have to be responsible for all of those things. So that's something to consider too when you're looking at location. And then based on your business, do you want to do online or do you want to do, in person? I'm an in-person. I understand online is growing, but I am a face-to-face individual, and I love connecting with the customers or what have you. And so those are just things to consider when you're looking to open your business, and like I say, the type of business and what that looks like, and is there a market for it? And research will help you find that out.